Okay, Taurus. Since Scorpio wanted to go first, you're next. You were actually supposed to be like first or second. Oh, shit. But that message was really, really important for Scorpio to come out. And I feel like the first reading is going to resonate with everyone. So we got some rough transits coming up. I don't know if it's going to be rough for everybody, but we'll see. I'm no astrologer. I just love to hear the astrologers talk about this shit. It's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and pick your stones. Third eye. Your perception. There's some repair being done there. Got root. And throat chakra. You can only speak the truth that you actually see. You're grounded in your truth, but there's something about your perception. And it's hard because it's like working backwards. Even though it's going up the line, it's like your third eye and your perception is what needs the most work at this time. Not you being vocal. You're speaking on whatever you feel rooted in and what you believe and what you're standing on. But the perception of it is not all clear. Completion. Let's see. Ooh. Perseverance. You're not done seeing something clearly, but you've been standing on the belief that you have about this thing. You've been defending it, you've been standing on it, and you've been protecting it, even though you're not quite seeing it clearly. And you're actually speaking that into your environment or enacting that in your environment, but you have surrender here. That lets me know you're about to start, because see, you have the right idea when it comes to perseverance and environment. That's a 444, true enough. But there's about to be, honestly, this shit is going to make you question your own, it's going to make you question a lot of your own actions and beliefs up until this point now. Because it's like, the only example I'm getting is like where everybody knows 1 + 1 = 2. But if you have two people and they have sex, that's 1 + 1 = 3. And, you know, with the procreation of a child. So, or if you go to the store and you buy something and it's buy one, get one free, the value of what you have is more than what you spent. But it's like, or getting some paper towels and they're like, buy it 6 = 11. It's like the way that it's computing, or the way that it's measuring up or adding up will change, and it makes you start to question. It should make you start to question if you've been founding your beliefs and fighting on that very specific thing. The moment you hear something that is different than what you have been firmly standing on, it will start to shake your perception. And there's a need to surrender. It's a little fearful to do so because it's so rooted here. It's going to be hard for you to actually go through with this completion, but the surrender will need to happen because it'll have to loosen this grip, this stance that you're taking on something very specific. You haven't been seeing it all the way clearly, but you've been vocalizing it in that stance for so long that, and almost like it's a fact. When you find out it's not wholeheartedly the truth or not wholeheartedly the reality, then you start to have that perception shift. My nail polish just keep fucking chipping. I have to paint my nails every day. We're not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it. Okay, came face down, so I'm not even going to, I'm going to wait and see what else comes up. Okay. Oh, okay. It's like you don't know now. It's like you don't know if you were right or wrong. Because you believed it. You perceived it a certain way, so therefore you believe it to be what you perceived it to be. But as you're growing and as your point of view is growing and as your you're broadening what you're actually handling, or like things in your environment are changing the way that you communicate or the way that you receive others too. And there's something much like Scorpio you're gonna have to go back and take a look at. But the thing is, you're gonna have to see it with a different set of eyes. You can't look at it with your own two eyes like you're the one in like player one mode versus when the camera is going and you see the person's hands or the gun or whatever. I'm thinking about a video game. When you can see behind them, you have a different point of perspective. And that's what you're going to have to do. It's going to pull your focus back in order to see everything for what it really is. And I think you're experiencing or feel like you'll be getting pushback when you try to... I think it was the way it was presented. Yeah, when I say pushback, this is what I mean. You feel like it'll be confrontational. But I feel like that was the tone that was already set. And therefore, that surrender is almost like an admittance. Okay. Let me get 2 more cards. I don't know why y'all got so many. Okay, so this pertains to a message. Oh, God, you're expecting it. Yeah, you are. Okay, so the movement is on your part. And I think it was kicked off in this Cancer season. Okay, so I have a card face down, and I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to show you the other cards first, and then we'll look at it. You have 2 of Swords reverse. Six of Wands. Lovers. 8 of Cups. 5 of Wands reverse. 7 of Wands, Knight of Swords. And I would break down every single solitary card, but if you're watching tarot now, I'm sure you've been watching tarot. The only way I'll really break it down is if I'm teaching a class, and if you'll pay for it, I'll do it. But other than that, Page of Wands, Tower, Knight of Pentacles. King of Wands is elusive. And it's not that they're elusive on purpose. It's like the station they're in, they can't really be touched. Not in a cocky way, but this Page of Wands is not getting through very well. This approach is not going to appeal to the King of Wands' nature. It's just not. So it has to be something substantial. And I think this is where the perspective shift happens, and it does come to a point of completion. Because the expectation of pushback and you not wanting to fight no more, or this King of Wands not wanting to fight no more. It's like, it's not worth the conflict. I'd rather just walk. It actually sits on the table like this. It's like, I don't want to, because somebody felt like Two of Swords, like, this is what it is. That's all. It was like a very resolute type of, like, my mind is made up. This is what it is. Can't change my mind. And somebody felt smug about it. They felt like they were the victor, like they were on top. And when it comes to this Lovers, they weren't. It's like emotionally, it was just a turn off. It was just like, I don't desire this. This isn't where I want to go. This is not where I see myself. So I have to remove myself. You can have it. I don't even want to fight. Like, if you feel like you want to win because you can't see anything else, like, you have this fixed, rigid way of thinking or being here, and that's resounding in your environment, the way that you talk to people, what you're communicating. And it's like, when do you see that you're not seeing everything clearly? It's really asking you to give attention to this third eye. Oh, Five of Pentacles. It's a time when you felt like somebody did you, dirty, or left you hanging, or let you down. You could have walked away and felt like it was justified. Any other person, I don't feel like it was an intentional thing. I don't feel like it was intentional. I think you didn't see it clearly. I think you could only see from the perception that you had. And this is, you have to watch the Scorpio reading. Because it seems like what Scorpio is dealing with is a person like you. No wonder y'all are opposites. But this is the place that a person was operating from. So when they experience this Five of Pentacles, what they feel is Five of Pentacles, because it's linked to the root chakra. What they felt, and this Perseverance card, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so now I'm going to make this decision, and I know it's right. I'm going to do this thing because I know it's right. Because this is how I felt. That's how I know it's right. Riding in on Six of Wands. Okay, well, that choice seems to be made in error. And that's not something that you have ever seen. Because you're rooted in this perseverance, in this belief. This is how your environment is supposed to be, or is supposed to look, or has been looking. And this is the way that you communicate with it, no matter who it is. And it just did not work for this Eight of Cups, King of Wands. So this person is expecting, because you have the Two of Swords in reverse, they're expecting to have to defend themselves. So yes, you will get pushback. And then when you come in and try to speak, there will be further clearing needed, because it's not over. It's not over at all. The very thing that you thought you were without is exactly what you're going to have to offer. Because it was your perception of not having it that put the rift here. You have to surrender that rooted belief in order to appeal to this King of Wands. Because if you come back with that same energy, I am going to push back, and I'm going to send you where you came from. So if you're dealing, this looks like Leo energy here. For a Leo, to have this Eight of Cups, They really took it to heart what you did or what they experienced with you. Where you were immovable, they had to move, is what I'm getting. It's not that you were just disrespectful or it's just the way that two people interact and communicate was not in the best. Because all of these actions after come from a response from this. So you have to, if you want to understand this fully, you're going to have to go listen to the Scorpio reading, because that's like part 1 I see. God damn. So I'm going to have to part 1 and part 2 these things. Even though I'm going to put your zodiac signs at the forefront, I will actually put something in the description box so you can get a better, written explanation of where I'm going with this. But I really feel that you're so close. You're almost there. But the thing is, you're coming in from 6 of Wands to Page of Wands. There is a humbling that you've gone through. It's not like somebody's knocking you down to size. I feel that because you have this sense of I am who I am, and I am great. I am, I'm a very valuable person. I know I am. So what's the problem? Like, you don't see that I'm worth it, or you don't see it's something like, and it's like, no, it wasn't about you not being worth it. It's how you made maybe another person feel, or in response to, maybe there was a time when you were triggered and it brought up things that made you doubt that. So what you were rooted in and what you believe about yourself was challenged, and you retaliated out of that. You made a decision, and it negatively affects someone else because you were deciding on criteria from that had nothing to do with them. And this is why it's problematic, because where you feel like you've been carrying this 5 with you, this 5 of Pentacles, they're five of Wands in reverse. There's never any action towards you here. This is a perception here because it's sitting here under this completion and this third eye chakra. This is also a blockage in the next level of ascension, as far as like the vibrational top up that you're to experience. Like you're very knowledgeable, you're very capable, you have a lot going for you. That's very, very positive. But without this perception shift, without you seeing from another perspective, another point of view, you're not going to understand what you need to understand. It's like it's not going to add up. Things are still not going to add up. And the more you persist with what you're rooted in believing, and the way you're rooted in communicating or interpreting, because throat chakra is also, ear, nose, and throat are connected. So what you're ingesting, what you're hearing through your ears, it filters through that through that throat chakra. So your level of understanding when it comes to communication has always been, or has developed into a particular way that is, this is a perceived slight. This is a perceived abandonment, or something that reflects it, or something that sounds like or feels like that thing, and that's not what it was. And in that regard, it ended up abandoning or making another person feel like they had no other choice. You kind of influenced them to actually do what you felt like they were already doing, which is walking away. You manifested it because it's rooted in your belief system. And you were persistent in persevering to make sure that what you believe is the truth. And your environment reflects it. So because you have this belief, everything you hear is going to align with what you're rooted in and what you're believing. that is what's persevering. That's what's persisting. And you're being asked to surrender that. You're being asked to surrender this one belief because it doesn't add up. It's like your life should be moving forward in a certain direction, and you know this. There should be different outcomes for the experiences you're going through, and you just don't understand. It's not adding up. You're a good person. You try to do right by people. You call yourself loyal. Whatever. You're there for others. Whatever. But there's you always end up in this situation. You always end up in this situation because you believe you are going to end up in this situation. Because all you have is the proof that you've already lived through. So everything gets filtered through that lens. Like, that's why you can't see clearly. And this could have happened already, but with the Page of Wands coming in, you decided to dial it back and not come in as the Page of Swords, because swords are what got you in this. Thinking a certain way. Thinking a certain way, communicating a certain way, and it always had a person having to protect themselves when they really just don't want to go there. They don't want conflict, but you keep bringing the type of communication that incites conflict. This person is protecting themselves. Like, you already have a win against me. You already have acknowledged yourself when it comes to this love relationship or this friendship or whatever it is, that you've got one up on me. But now that I'm in an elevated space of my own, I'm going to protect myself. I have 7 wands now. These 6 are coming at me. Your 6 wands are coming at this person, and they only have 1 to defend themselves. That's why they're the king. They don't want to use it in a malicious way. They've been in protection mode. The only way to protect themselves was to leave, was to go, was to not bother you, was to not be in your vicinity, because everything was a competition to you. You wanted to fight. You wanted to win. You wanted to be right about what you believed. And with forcing them and forcing their hand and bringing them this type of energy, they had no choice but to fulfill your prophecy. I get on y'all a lot, but it's not to cause harm. It's this, you have to be aware. You really have to be aware that you're not the only, like, you're affecting people just as much as you feel they're affecting you. But with you having fixed energy, you're rooted and things move around you. So if you're stuck in this ideology or stuck in this way of being, then people have no other option but to shift and to move, whether it be towards you or away. And you're really repelling certain things in your environment, carrying the vibration of the 5 of Pentacles. You're not actually, that's not an invitation for anyone to be around. It's like, it's not. And it could be good people. And it's not that, this King of Wands is elevated to a position of maturity. And in comparison, you're coming up as Knight of Pentacles, which is a pretty good advancement from where you started energetically with this person. When it comes to effort, especially. There's just different things that they require now. They're going to energy check you first. They're not going to look for what kind of coins you got, what kind of valuables you have, what your job description is. They're not looking at that. They want to see if you have it in you, if you have the innovation, if you can come creatively, if you can use your spirit to speak for itself, or are you going to let your mind and your beliefs do all the talking? What are you judging a situation on? Are you actually feeling it? Or because the only cups was theirs. And once they realize that there's no love being served, I have to leave. That was the only love card besides the lover sitting here. So the only time you used your energy, it was to triumph or to be acknowledged as having done something right, or even if you put yourself in that position to feel like you are getting something, some accolade, some satisfaction. It was satisfaction because you're like, I knew I was right. If you were so right, then why does this feel so wrong? That's what the clarity is all about. The perception is you're seeing it, and it's not, you're not seeing it clearly. It's like you need to get some Windex. Don't put no Windex on your face. It's not for external. It's not for skin contact. It's unless you're watching My Big Fat Greek Wedding and they use Windex for every fucking thing. You'll be able to close out this cycle. This because I don't know if it's karma related, but I feel like a realization is coming, and this pretty much, this tower will knock the crown off this six of wands. So this person feels like they won something. That's a laurel wreath, which they would give people when they return from war. Return from war. Why the fuck are you at war with this person? Like, this is a perceived conflict, or a perceived, like, what did you win is what I want to know. Why do you want to be acknowledged in this way? What makes you feel that you got something out of this? Like, what? Why the satisfaction though? I'm not understanding. What did you gain? You could have gained, but it wasn't perspective. And that's what you really needed. Even if you got money, even if you got physical things, or had a feeling like, well, shit, they ain't play me, or whatever it may have been. It's like, what you really needed to gain was the perspective. And now that you may be in a place to do that, they may not be receptive to complete it. Like, be a part of you completing the cycle. You really gonna have to come with different energy. Not just small talk. They're not gonna take that. There is, in the kingdom, them little do boys and them little pages and stuff like that, they don't meet directly with the king. The fuck you mean? They just don't. So knights do, though. This is a more methodical, thought out, practical effort approach. They actually have something to bring the king that is substantial. And this person is not self-proclaimed king. They're coming out of the fucking 8 of Cups. They had to go off on their own, long and hard. This person didn't want to fight with you, did not want to fight over you, didn't want to fight for you, because it got to that point. So this person couldn't even defend you. Or maybe they felt like there was no defending on their part, like they couldn't defend themselves, or nobody was around to defend them in this 6 of Wands situation. There is a sense of defeat here. And maybe that's why you feel satisfied. Like you did something to them. You performed an action, said a thing, and it transpired. And now it's like, okay, well, at least I ain't get got, or at least I ain't, at least I came out on top, or at least I'm okay. At least we want, at most, we want benefits. We want substantial gain. They're about to humble your ass without even being forceful, without even, that's an energetic thing. Because them walking away, mind you, in this Lover's card, the angel's eyes are closed. That's much like the face in this moon. It's like all of that was seen, all of that was witnessed, all of that was noticed, what they endured. They've been watched over the whole time. Even in exiting the situation, it was something they were guided to do. So no matter how you think you feel about it, it was something that was, because you would not move, they had to move around. And some people take pride in that. Like, shit, people don't move me, they move around. That's fine. But that means you're not moving forward. But they are. So now they're in a more stable position, kingly in their energy, and kingly as in mature, elevated, because they worked to get there. Having gone through this, they had their experience with the Six of Wands, and they knew they didn't want to go backwards. So the Five of Wands is reversed. Why would I put myself back in conflict when this person has already proclaimed themselves the victor in this situation? I didn't know we were winning at love. I figured we were just experiencing it. They're in a state of dissatisfaction or not being replenished, not being hydrated in this situation. So they take their ass on. And when you come towards them, because they already don't want conflict, then they're receiving this type of communication. It's really like, oh no, stop that shit at the door. They've gotten themselves to a place where energetically they don't even have to speak on it now. Their energy does it for itself. So you already know that you can't come to this person with just small talk. You can't come to this person, hey, how are you? You doing all right? No, don't. Cut to the chase, because I know what you're capable of doing. I know where you're capable of going. I know what you stand on. I know how you're rooted in belief and how you speak. I need to know that it's something else that you're going to present, something worth substance, something worth it. Because you know what value is, you should be able to offer value in your communications, in what you have to offer, in what you're, and hear value in, find the value in what you're hearing, not the deficit. So there's something about the way the communication coming into you, when it's like it generates a response that is like pre-selected for your belief system or for what you've taught yourself to believe. And this is a blockage that will be made to come down. Surrender, it's gonna happen. So when I say a person humbles you, they don't have to be belligerent to do it. They can hold up a mirror and you see yourself, operating in this way, or a video of you operating in this way, or just a notion where you may have overreacted. When you see yourself as if you're looking at a movie or someone else, and don't get defensive about what you're seeing. Don't defend the image of what you're seeing, but actually see it like you're watching someone else. Only then will you really understand where I'm coming from with this. Maybe you have to travel. You got 2 nights here. This night is going towards somebody who is not even in a position. They're not dressed the same. They're not even, this is, it's an unfair advantage. This person is coming in hot and fast, like some fucking lead bullets. And this other person is like, man, like I just got to the point where I found some fucking sticks to defend myself. This is my walking stick. That's all I got. That's all I got is my walking stick. And here comes this storm of a person or storm of an energy coming in to converse and have conversation. It's like, I'm not there where you are. I just wanted peace. I just wanted to leave. I don't want conflict. I don't want to fuss. I don't want to argue. You won. You got it. And it's a very, now that it's King of Wands, and it's like, hey, who goes there? Like, what's up? What you got to say? No small talk. No, hey, how you doing? How's the weather? How you been? You still in school? No. State the nature of your business. And now it's business. It's not personal. State the nature of your business and bring something substantial with you. Like it's going to be transactional, because this person has kind of learned that this is the method to averting the issue. When it was too personal, somebody felt like they weren't getting, like they weren't, like there wasn't enough, or that they were left to fend for themselves, or I don't know. It's odd. Like they didn't have it, and that you should have had it, or they didn't have, you didn't have it and they should have had it, or vice versa. Like where I'm deficient, you should have more than enough. And it's like, no, that's not right. That's not right, because it's certain things that you both should have enough of when it comes to personal growth, or personal, like interpersonal exchange. And somebody was deficient. Somebody didn't have, or didn't want to share, or didn't want to give. And that's why you have to give now what you didn't give then. And now you're going to be put through a different criteria because of the way this is all transpired. God damn, Taurus. I'm getting up off of here. Yeah. That Two of Swords came out and said its ass sideways. So it lets me know, like, this would be making a resolute decision, or not having any information. Just completely, it's either making a decision or having absolutely no indication of choices. It can go either way. It can be extreme. And then here it's like having this or that. It's kind of like, and not being able to fully trust what you're seeing. So there was a lack of trust with what you're seeing, and what you believe are two different things. And so the choice was to, it's like, you couldn't even trust what you felt. As far as, like, you're feeling one thing, but it goes against what you believe, and therefore it can't be right. So you choose, like, erring on the side of caution, where caution is really this rooted belief that you've always used, that's more in a scarcity. Oh, got the 9 of Wands. Woo! And I thought about the Six of Pentacles too. Nine of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Judgment, and the Six of Pentacles. This is what happens when the Knight of Pentacles leaves leaves the Five of Pentacles, where you're in a position to give, and maybe you overgave, but to whom? Because this person is like, they value what they have, they really do, but they're also in a position to give, and maybe that's the decision. Maybe they have to be given to. So even still, it would be a Knight of Pentacles to a Queen of Pentacles with a King of Wands energy. That Queen of Pentacles got a King of Wands energy, and that's what you're up against. You're going to have to go through the masculine energy of this person in order to even get close to the feminine energy of this person. Because the feminine energy of this person is the one that is wounded. So it's not going to be safe to them at all. So now their energy speaks for itself. Before they physically get involved, their energy is going to speak for them, and you'll know. You'll know exactly where they're coming from and why. This is why it lets me know that this is no accident. This is not something that came out of nowhere, like you didn't have any involvement. You are very aware of the interaction with this kind of person, a person that you do sense value in. This is why the Pentacles has to be presented to them in order for you to make an actual like splash, because their King of Wands energy, anything Wands related, they know through and through, but they're also familiar with the Pentacles. So if you bring Page of Wands to a King of Wands, that's like fucking college professor speaking to somebody that's in elementary school. It's not to demean anybody's intelligence or anything like that, but the conversation is not the same. The energetic conversation is not the same. The intention for communication is not the same. It's like an adult sitting there eating something and a child being like, I like that. That tastes real good. It's like, just ask. Don't beat around the bush. Don't insinuate. Don't infer. Just ask what it is, what you want. What do you want? Do you want some? Did you ask for some? You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like this will be a situation where the King of Wands is like, oh, here, just take it. Or here, you can come in. Or here, you know, they're not going to give you anything without you offering something of substance. Whether it be a question, whether it be an offer, or whatever it is. You have to present it for what it really is, and not kind of diminish the intent or try to present it in a different energy than what it really should be. Like, they understand, they know what they're supposed to be expecting. They know what is supposed to be coming towards them. And Page of Wands just ain't it. It's supposed to be Knight of Pentacles, because you're going to have to it's like, for you, believing for both of you, believing is seeing. But you believe what you believe, and therefore you see it. A person has a different set of beliefs because their energy has gone through so much. They have a matured perspective of what energy can do. They have certain values that they believe in, and they see the proof of those in their environment. So they have a different sense of how to use what they've been given, which was Six of Wands, the Five of Wands energy. You know, they've had to cultivate energetically in comparison to other people. But the feminine aspect of them is Pentacle. So where their physical world used to show them everything, now their energetic world, or their relation to vibe and frequency now gives them intel on what's happening or what's coming towards them. That's why you got the Seven of Wands come up in their energy, like, hold up. Like, I feel you coming a mile away. Back that shit up. Like, it was pushback. Like, don't even try it, because their energy was being cultivated with every experience that they've gone through. So you have to come with different energy. They're not going to accept the Page of Wands. You have to come with Knight of Pentacles in order to get close enough to even exchange. And then you have to have something to exchange. It can't be, oh, let's just break the ice. Don't break the ice. Don't break the ice. You better come with something to drink. Don't just come and break the ice with me. And then what? I got all these shards of ice sitting here. You better have something practical to follow that breaking of the ice. Because if you just sit there and make a mess breaking the ice, you potentially just reopen what was already in disarray. But they've gotten it to a solid place. They've gotten it to a place where it's clear, it's cool, it's complete. And then you come break the ice. Now there's mess. Now there's energetic chaos that has to be cleaned up. So come with something substantial is my advice, because things of value. You're not just a recipient. You're also a giver. And that's the part that they're going to need to see. Don't take my word for it. That's just what I'm getting from this moderation I just saw. So maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe if you're receiving in excess, you're not giving in excess. No Taurus I know gives in excess. They receive in excess. And that's just how that energy is built. It really is. It attracts goods. It attracts certain things. But in that attraction, it's like a magnet. It's like, you're not a magnet, though. You're not a fucking fridge magnet just attracting. There has to be something you repel. And this person is repelled by somebody just always receiving. Maybe they've changed their energy to not always give, because moderation was necessary. And therefore, I'm not giving any more attention. I'm not giving any more energy. I'm not giving anything else to this. You got it. I don't want to fight. But I'm not giving anything else either. So I have to remove myself in order to self-preservation. And perseverance and preservation and persistence could be very well be a mode of operating you've been coming from. So if you both have different ways of using that energy, they've elevated to kinghood in using that energy. So I think they have something to teach you. So if you're a Knight of Pentacles going towards the King of Wands, you need to bring an apple to class, because just showing up and, I like your dress, you're my favorite teacher, that's not going to appeal to this person. Like, you have to really show them your willingness, your readiness to have an adult conversation. That Page of Wands shit ain't gonna fly. And while they were down and you come in with Knight of Swords, that really has left an impression on them that makes them not approachable. There's just different things that they require now when dealing with others. And if we look at your opposite, which is Scorpio, Scorpio's ancient ruler, ancient governor is Mars. So you're dealing with a King of Wands, even though I said Leo energy. Think about if you're dealing with a Mars-ruled type of being. Like, that is the Tower. That is the Tower. I told you in that Lover's card in the Eight of Cups, that angel had his eyes closed, but that angel's face with the eyes closed was also in the face of the moon. They saw everything this person was enduring and going through. So with this person making this decision, all of that was witnessed, all of that was viewed, all of that was seen on a celestial level. So both people were supposed to take lessons from the encounter. This person has learned lessons. Your lesson has everything to do with your perception of what went down, of what transpired. That completion. You're so close. You're so close. Like, oh, this shit is so close. You can fucking taste it. And it's like, it's gonna take for your shift. And it's not even, it's like, sit somewhere else. You can see the information clearer if you sit somewhere else, or if you use a different scope. Maybe you're trying to see the bigger picture that you missed the details. And it was little bits and oftens that were missed and bypassed and ignored. And those were the valuable things to this person. And the big, grander displays or encounters meant more to you. It's like they can enjoy those, but their preference is this, and all you can see is what your preferences are. You miss out on being able to see life, joy, communication, anything from another person's perspective. It's like your belief trumps all, basically, and it's to the point where you even changing your own mind about what you decided something was takes a lot of effort for you. So I hope that you are able to, whatever it may be, because it seems like it's still needing to be taken care of, because you got shit to do, you got shit to achieve, you got places to go, you have opportunities to accept. And this is kind of in the way. Because it's you against you, not you against another person. Damn. All right, man. Well, I'll see y'all later.